everyone, Sophia Chong here in San Francisco at LucasArts, and I'm joined by Craig Derrick, producer on The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition, which they have just announced today. So we're very excited to hear this announcement, so what can you tell us about the game?
Well, we're very excited to be announcing it today. The Special Edition is a faithfully reimagined version of the classic 1990 PC game. And what that means is we've gone back and we've updated all of the art in the game to high definition resolution. We've remastered the music and the audio. We've added newly recorded dialogue by the original cast from The Curse of Monkey Island. We've added an integrated hint system, updated the user interface, and we have this incredible feature where you can seamlessly blend between the classic version and the special edition features at any time.
All right, so Craig is now going to take us on a walkthrough of The Secret of Monkey Island.
Okay, so we're going to go start The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition.
Perfect. So it's coming out on Xbox as well as...
This is on Xbox through the Xbox Live Arcade, and will also be on PC. Now what's great about this intro is it's a tease. This is the original intro for the game back in the day. So this is 320 by 240, 256 colors, and so we think people will play it and they're like, wait a minute, I thought about a special edition. And then we do the reveal, and then the ship in the corner starts moving, and you start to see the new water effects and such. The original game had all of the credits. It's part of why this game, and I think a lot of the graphic adventures were so popular, is they really were very cinematic, and that was by having credits in the beginning of the game too. People were really excited by that because it felt like a film, it felt like a story that's being told. So, but I'm going to skip those now, so you don't have to see my name.
Yeah, for those of us, we've been waiting a long time for some kind of remake. So what made you guys decide to do it now?
So the fans ask us about Monkey Island, it seems like every day. And it's one of the most popular franchises we have. It is the reason that many of the people on the team came to work for LucasArts. It consistently ranks in the top 50 games of all time. So it was kind of a no-brainer for us. It was like, we want to go back to it. It was interesting to see how we could bring this to a new audience through Xbox Live and through digital distribution on PC as well. How do we get into that and see what people are willing to play? And so this was an opportunity for us to do that.
I'll do that.
Now, as I've mentioned before, this is the first scene of the game. This is the lookout scene. Guybrush is shown up on Melee Island. We have no idea how he got there. And people remember this is very iconic, but this is what they actually remember.
Yeah, and you can just flip the switch and you're back in classic mode.
At any time, I can switch back between the classic and the special edition. And you can see in some of these scenes that we're going to go into that we've really taken a close look at all of the art. We've remained very faithful to the original art and the composition of the pieces, but we wanted to embellish them with storytelling, obviously rich color, and our art director, Jeff Zingali, wanted to capture the feel of an illustrated storybook, so that's why we kept it in 2D, and everything feels that way. Very moody, very strong tones and lighting. So if I go back to the original, there we have it. So Guybrush is in the docks of Melee Island, and he's moving around, and we can see there's a moon and just kind of some static water, and you're approaching the scum bar. The lookouts told us, go to the scum bar, this is how you're going to discover to be a pirate. But if we come back and see, we've added some shader techniques and some effects here so you can see the water's moving, some of the clouds are doing. But one of the great pieces of storytelling that we added was just adding those ships in the background, because when you walk into the scum bar, there's all these pirates, and they're just partying in there, and they're clanging the grog mugs around, and you may actually think, well, how did they get there? And why, if this is the bar of the island, then how did these pirates get there? So pieces of storytelling were really important to us to add into the game. And the character of Guybrush went through many different iterations for this game, as well as across the multiple Monkey Island franchise games. And so we found that fans and such were kind of borrowing pieces from one game and taking them and applying them to another version of them, from The Curse of Monkey Island, where he was very tall and lanky compared to kind of a short and squat, I guess you could say, right? Kind of a bit of a Lord of the Rings kind of thing going there. So, so we wanted to kind of stay true, stay faithful to it, but sort of bring them back and make them more contemporary. And
this interface is new since you don't have all the verbs to choose from.
So the gameplay is exactly the same. We didn't really change any of that. We've added some embellishments to it, and as you say, the interface is changed. The original version put the verb table on the bottom of the screen, and if I had any inventory object at this time, you would see those on the right where the cursor is. We wanted to change that. We wanted to bring that and put it behind the scenes, and yet the functionality is there. So we did a couple things. So first, the cursor has an icon there, and you can see there's a foot. So that's pretty much the walk to. And if you press the A button anywhere I point to, he'll also walk there. Certain objects in scenes also have a default. So I can go to this poster, and you'll see that on the bottom right of the screen, now I can look at it by pressing the B button.
Re-elect Governor Marley. When there's only one candidate,
and so
there's only one choice.
Speaking to himself, I guess that's what we do, is like we read aloud.
Well, there's no subtitles now. So.
Right, there's no subtitles. So so if I wanted to go into the inventory, I would just press the left trigger, and I would bring these up. And again, we've added these icons because familiar players will be looking for this verb table, but we wanted to get people to have shortcuts as well. So on the D-pad, as I'm flipping through now, I'm actually going through each of these icons. So as you get a little more familiar with the game and as you play it, you'll just start to use the D-pad to go to the objects or the things that you want to do. And then I can press the right trigger to bring up the inventory, and once I have a couple objects I can do. So as you point out, the subtitles are different, so or gone. So in the special edition, we have them off, but in the options you can turn those on at any time. But when we crossfade, they will come back on. So if I go over here and I look at that poster, let's see if he'll do it. You'll see there are the subtitles. Mm-hmm. And now they're gone if I move in here. Let's go into the scum bar. Now, the lookout in the beginning of the game said that I needed to find the scum bar to learn how to become a pirate. Now, let's just assume the player doesn't know where the scum bar is. Maybe they have no idea. So we've included an integrated hint system. So if I hold the X button, it tells me I should go to the scum bar. So it's reiterating what the lookout told me. But I still know where that scum bar is. Where is it? So I'm going to hold the X for again. Scum bar's through the door below the sign that says scum bar. Well, there's a door and there's this sign. Maybe I still can't find it. So I'm going to press it again, and now it's going to tell me explicitly, this is what I have to do. Click open the door, and it gives me that arrow, and anytime I press it, it's going to continue to tell me where to go.
So it's like 3 levels of hints before it blatantly tells you exactly what you need to do?
Yeah, exactly. We didn't want to just give it away. Mm-hmm. We want to encourage people to get through the story. We didn't want them to get stuck. We wanted them to feel like, nowadays you can go to the internet and I can look it up or something. So it's not much of a challenge to put a puzzle into a game and assume that people will break the experience to go find it. So we didn't want them to break the experience. We wanted to stay in the game, enjoy the story, and if they needed a little prodding, they could get certain levels of that.
And are there any penalties by using this hint system?
Penalties, I'd say, are not is a bit of a strong word for what it is. But we have leaderboards on XBLA, and we want to encourage people to try to play the game without them. And so there's achievements and there's other things tied to that. So you can play the game with or without the hints, but if you use the hints, maybe you won't get as many points, or maybe you'll miss an achievement, perhaps.
There's incentive to not
So there's an incentive there, but of course you can always play again, and those are for the hardcore people. So in the scum bar, the difference in here is really the sound. So when you switch back, you're the ambience is going to fade down, and the music's going to change. And again, you can see just the level of detail within the graphics has changed as well. Now I'm going to go talk to this pirate, and as I go to talk to him, we've taken some stylistic liberties with these characters. If I fade back to the original, this is about as close to photorealistic as you could get back in 1990. It's still pretty good. Still pretty good, actually. And but what's interesting about it is that while the game is very humorous and very whimsical, these characters are not so much. This is more like a Long John Silver or a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of feel, and that's definitely inspirational. But we wanted to kind of take the world that we've created here and really add it to the characters. You can also see that we've added the background and such too. The traditional gameplay is the same. I can select the dialogue that I want to speak to this character. I get to hear that dialogue now through the great voice acting of Dominic Armato back as Guybrush Threepwood.
That's the stupidest name I've ever heard.
And he tells me that my name is stupid, so well, I want to know what's
your
mine.
name?
My name is Mancomb Seepgood. So, what brings you to Melee Island, anyway?
So now I'm going to leave.
Business. Goodbye.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Secretive.
An interesting story regarding this bar is I can go speak to a lot of these different pirates, and I'll get close-ups of each of those. I can also speak to this dog, and specifically the dog's named Spiffy. And in the original game, they intended to have a screen, just as we saw with the pirates, come up. But for memory reasons, because they were putting the game out on floppy disk, they had to make cuts, and one of those was they were going to lose the close-up of Spiffy. But it made the back of the box of the original game. So there's fans out there that are like, oh, they know what Spiffy the dog is, they want Spiffy back, and so sort of a deleted scene we added was we brought him back.
Oh, look, it's Spiffy.
And you can see it's on his tag and everything. And yeah, you can talk to him, you can bark. Now if I go switch back to the classic, we have no original scene because we didn't have it. So we do have the opportunity to add sort of new features and new things here as well as we go through the game.
And then there are going to be like a lot of these things that we'll come across?
There's a few there. There's Easter eggs, things that are in the backgrounds as well, sort of nods to some of our classic games. The classic LucasArts games always had in-jokes in them, and so we found that we wanted to kind of maintain that a bit. We have this, also this narrator.
Meanwhile, deep beneath Monkey Island, the ghost...
Somewhere in that scene, there's one of those visual Easter eggs.
But now that you have the opportunity to get really detailed in the environment.
Definitely, yeah. And more visual effects as well. You could see there was like these heat rays that were coming up. LeChuck here on the left has a bit of a pirate aura or a ghost aura around him. And if I switch back, this is what we used to have.
This brings back a lot of memories for people growing up in the 90s playing this. So what was it like working on a classic like this that you played so many years ago?
It's fantastic, and it's scary at the same time because you don't want to screw it up. You want to be true to what you remember playing these games and what was fun about them. But every time we added a new feature, and it was staged. So the first time a new art for a background came in, the team would gather around and you'd see it, and you were blown away. Every day you'd have to pinch yourself. My God, we're at LucasArts and we're working on The Secret of Monkey Island. It was just an amazing opportunity for everyone on the team. When the audio came in, there's like, wow, now we are actually hearing Dominic Armato as Guybrush, and he's Earl Bone who plays LeChuck. It was just fascinating to be a part of it, and I'm very proud of the work that the team has done, and couldn't be happier with the results that we have here.
You think we'll see more little remakes, like HD remixes?
Well, we're definitely concentrating on The Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island as a whole right now, but we'll see. Hopefully fans will come out. We'll attract a whole new base of fans that love the story, love the characters, love the work that's been done, and if they want more, then they can get on the sites and they can ask for it, and we'll see what we can do.
All right, and so what platforms is it coming out on, and when does it come out?
This is on Xbox 360 through XBLA, and we'll also be releasing through digital distribution on PC. It will be released mid-summer, and we're really excited.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having.
All right, so that was your first look at The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition. So be sure to check back on GameSpot.com for more coverage.